Evening folks, and welcome to Copey's Koi, where I'm chatting bubbles. Something I'd like to do that is absolutely totally different to anybody else. It's called Your Koi Journey, and I hope you enjoy it. It all started with a trip to France when I sat in a little cafe, drinking coffee, eating croissants. When I noticed a lady at the counter, we had eye contact, we sat down talking, drinking our coffee. I introduced myself as Copey. She introduced herself as Lo. And I've got to admit, folks, we had a little bit of a French connection. Had a little chat with Lo, and I left Lo, and I caught the ferry to the Isle of Wight. When I got to the Isle of Wight, I pulled in the wayside Koi, where I met Jill and John. Jill and John, they invited me around to their home, looking around their garden and their pond. John was showing me how he spreads his seeds, and Jill was kindly enough to send me round the back of the garden to show me a bush, and a very nice bush indeed as well, Jill. So I left Jill and John, got on the ferry, and I thought I'd have a travel to Devon Koi, where I met Martin. Martin was showing me all the signs he makes with his laser machine. Absolutely fantastic, folks. And I said to Martin before I left, I said, do you know anybody who builds conservatories? He said, I do know of a fella. He said, but he lives in Surrey, named Stu. I said, not a problem, mate. I'm on a journey. So off to Surrey I went. Knocked on the door. Stu invited me in. Went in the garden. Had a little tipple of his favourite drink, Guinness, alcohol free. And I sat there talking. He was on about his poorly shoulder and his poorly knee. And I looked at his conservatory and I thought, hang on a minute. It took him a little bit of a while to build that conservatory. I hate Stu. So at that, folks, I left Stu's, and I've got to be honest, when I sat in my car to set up my sat nav, I've got to be honest with you, folks, Stu's a diamond geezer. So I thought to myself, I need some supplies for my pond. So I thought I'd pop over to Skeggy's Pond and Supplies, where I met Daz. I had a bit of a chin wag with Daz. I got me some things that I needed, and then I thought to myself, I'll have me a trip down to Wales, and I do like Barry Island. So I sat there, folks, on the beach with my fish and chips in my little polystyrene tray as you do, admiring the view of Barry, when I heard this screaming coming from a boat of enjoyment. Saw a little lad in the back named Wolfie enjoying a day out with his family. I knew he was steering the boat, folks, but Lee Hadfield himself. Yes, you know it, the Koi soldier. Waved to him as they passed, and a seagull pinched me tray of chips. So that sorted that out, folks. So at that, I got in my motor. I started travelling through Wales, where I seen a signpost for Gifter's Koi. As I drove past, Mike shouted over the gate, "Oi, oi, Koi mates." So then I thought to myself, folks, I thought I'll travel up north Koi Pond. When I got there, I met Simon. Simon took me through to his pond, showed me around, and he was saying how he keeps having problems on a regular basis with the dreaded fluke. Before I left Simon's, he said to me, he says, not far from here, Copey, there's another Koi Pond you might want to visit. It's Koi Pond Johnny. So off I went, folks, round to Johnny's, and Johnny was telling me how much problems he's been having, the same as me, folks, with green water, and it has been a nightmare. So I left Johnny's, and I've always wanted to go down to the Lake District. So as I was travelling down to the Lake District, I saw a sign for the Koi Keeper's Arms. So I thought I'd follow the sign. As I followed the sign, folks, and I got to the Koi Keeper's Arms, I met Martin. He showed me his pond and garden. So I got talking to Martin, and obviously, because it was a journey, I had to start heading on the way home. So I got on the motorway heading home, folks, and I needed the toilet. So I pulled off at Stoke, and I was following the road, and I couldn't find nowhere to stop. And I saw a gentleman on the pathway. I pulled over and I said, do you know where there's a toilet I can use? And he says, if you take me down to Moor Farm, mate, and give me a lift, you can use the toilets there, which I thought was really nice of him. So the fella got in my car, he turned around and looked at me, he went, let's go. So I went down to the farm, used the toilet, You've guessed it, Jack the Balding Reefer. He showed me around his farm, and what a fantastic time I had there. And before I left, Jack said to me, don't get going straight on the motorway, Copey. He said, go straight over the island, follow the road, and you'll come to a shop that sells oatcakes. So off I went, folks, found the shop, and I was standing in the queue. As I was standing in the queue, somebody from behind, took the legs. I turned round, I went, what the fuck? Andy, he turned round and said to me, Copey, it's a Kaipon lifestyle. So I had a chin up with Andy. I left Andy, I got on the motorway. As I was travelling down the M6 on the way back home, I pulled on Hilton Park Services just to find the wife to let her know I wouldn't be far away. And as I was finding the missus, who comes walking out the service station, it was Leon. I said, how you doing, Leon? He said, I'm fine, Copey. He said, I'm building a budget pond. At that, folks, I drove off the services, down the M6, come off at junction 9. Who did I drive past but the black country bloke, Dave. So I left Dave, drove back home, went up my garden to check on my koi, and I noticed, folks, that I'd got a twisted koi. So I called it Vince. I went into the house, sat down with the missus, with a cup of tea and a cupcake. Put YouTube on, because it was Saturday night, folks. It's Gary and Kaz, Pond and Garden, Saturday Night Live. Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed that, and all I can say is, Jim, it's what I do. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Polish me thumb, subscribe if you don't mind, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, folks.